to go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome everybody to our PE Everyday celebration. I'm Tim Carstens. I'm the principal here at Illalko Elementary, and I'd like to welcome you all, especially because it's a celebration of our students. None of this celebration would be possible, however, without the generous sponsorship of today's event. We'd especially like to recognize Kevin Egan and the Hop Jacks Restaurant Group. Not only is Hop Jacks a fabulous neighborhood restaurant, Kevin and his sister Lindsay are alumni of Illalko Elementary. The PE Everyday program, while the brainchild of Dee Dee Goodspeed, had a lot of hands on it to bring it to fruition. First and foremost was the staff here at Illalko. A program like this doesn't go from idea to reality without a tremendous amount of legwork and teamwork. Rochelle Mentink, one of our primary learning specialists, fully embraced the concept and took the practices into her own writing classroom. Ms. Gina Lindberg, the music specialist, adapted her instructional model to allow for students in the two classes to have music instruction in a modified format. And similarly, Mrs. Amy Anderson, our library teacher, revamped her curriculum to fit the 30-minute time constraint. When Dee Dee first approached me with the idea of PE every day, I was intrigued, but skeptical. I knew to make a program like this work, the teachers needed to be on the top of their games. And fortunately for me, that meant that any teacher at Illalko could have been a candidate. But after careful examination, I chose Mrs. Micah and Mrs. Nielsen. Once we had our classes selected, it was time to really examine the goals for PE every day. Knowing what the day of school is, that the day of school is dictated by resources, we knew we were looking at an awareness campaign. We wanted to make the general public aware of many things. First, childhood obesity and related health issues are a major concern. Second, getting and remaining active is a possibility for everyone. And finally, when you combine outstanding instruction with daily activity, there's a chance to increase achievement while also improving health. I'd like to have us all recognize Mrs. Micah and Mrs. Nielsen. If you ladies will please stand. These are our classroom teachers who participated in the campaign. All right, now let's bring in the kids who participated. A red carpet list of guests here with us this afternoon. I like where Blitz has chosen to sit. Nice. You're going to have to give that up when Governor Inslee gets here, okay? So we're going to start with a person who sees the results of students choosing to be active or not. Julie Moberg is a former student of the Auburn School District and now serves as a PE specialist next door at Auburn Riverside High School. Please give a warm welcome to Ms. Julie Moberg.
So first of all, it's kind of cool because I get to see Dee Dee most days of the week over stealing our field and doing fun stuff with the kids. And that's always really kind of fun to get to incorporate the elementary with the high school, and we get to see that. Secondly, Governor Inslee was supposed to speak before me, and I do want to call him out a little bit because I do know that Governor Inslee is an avid basketball player. So, and he keeps in shape by playing basketball, and I love the fact that he takes fitness, and he's a smart guy. So let's just say we got fitness, and he's an academic guy, and that's what we're going to be learning today, and how they kind of are married to each other. Thank yous. The thank yous to being here. It's kind of awesome that you're here because we're all here for the same reason, kind of celebrating an idea. And anytime you have an idea, there's kind of three tiers to it. You got the idea. Dee Dee Goodspeed had a great idea. Let's give this a go. Let's see where this goes. And let's see if physical activity can't be combined into the academic field. Second thing, Tim Carstens, what a great job of taking it and planning it out and saying, hey, you guys want to do this. And then obviously the implementation and picking the right people to do it. And Cheryl Nielsen and Tammy Mike, I've heard nothing but incredible things about the implementation of taking the brain on fire after physical activity. It's on fire, it's ready to go, and focusing on the academics and how they're married together. So I'd like to give them guys a big round of applause again for the work that they do. The other thing I'm really excited about is that this doesn't just happen at the elementary level. This happens at the high school level. 300 kids took the SAT test in the gym. The very first thing they did was 7 minutes of sequenced movement and stretching before they took that test. Why? So they could be more focused and they could have better scores on that test. So it's a real testament to what physical activity does into the academic arena. And I think the bottom line statement to this is physical education is part of the academic world. Okay? Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this. And as Michelle Obama would say, give me 5 jumping jacks. Come on, Blitz, you're in this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you.
PE every day has helped my muscles grow stronger. When Miss Goodspeed makes us run the track, lots of kids moan, but I don't because I know she's trying to help us improve on our core. When she makes us do sit-ups and push-ups, I know she's trying to help us make our muscles stronger. Remember, PE every day can change your life.
I used to hate PE. I thought it was boring. I also used to be very slow and weak. I was lazy all the time and bored. I never really thought about fitness and running. That changed when I came to the school. I started getting faster and stronger. PE every day made my skills better. I hope there will be PE every day in every school. Give me 5-second plank.
3, 4, 5.
Now, some of us have been around long enough to remember Auburn's Commit to Fit campaign. Others of us have been around long enough to remember when square dancing was part of the PE curriculum in Auburn. And then there are those of us who have been around long enough to remember when Triceratops wrestling was considered extracurricular activity. So at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Kip Herren, the retiring superintendent of Auburn Schools.
All right, it's a pleasure to be here. There is nothing better than a community coming together to advocate, to support, and to draw focus to some really important key elements to help our students be lifelong learners. Now, what we know about third grade literacy, that it's a gateway, that when kids can read with comprehension in the third grade, that they're going to have a framework that will help them all the way through their education, to career and to college. We know that. This data is replete. We know that in the Auburn School District when we look at the performance of our students in third grade. So early learning, early literacy is absolute paramount. There are 2 other factors that the research shows besides early literacy. One is fitness and one is nutrition. Those are the elements to go along with literacy, and we're building citizens of world-class potential in the future. We get a payoff all along the line in the lives of those students. It's really because of cognitive development. It's executive function. When you develop the nutrition, the fitness, and the literacy skills, you're developing that frontal lobe of the brain. You're creating a framework that helps all of our students capture attention, hold our attention, and be able to shift, you have to be careful, Kip, shift your attention. Okay, those 3 things are critical to focus and to know what's salient and important in the learning. And I'm just so pleased that Dee Dee Goodspeed has brought this to the forefront with the staff here at Illalko, with the principal leadership. The governor recognizes this, and the whole community with the mayor and our former students that are here, Auburn Riverside Ravens, and then of course the most important folks, the families and the parents to support this. This is a great issue for all of us to get behind. I might just add that I have a master's in kinesiology got my master's degree. So I've always thought that teaching skills is teaching skills. Fitness skills, reading skills, nutritional habits and skills. This is a focus that will make a difference and will pay off for our kids forever. Let's get behind this. Thank you.
And I know that was kind of risky, me saying what I said about Kip, but he has already signed my last paycheck, so we're okay there. Now, as we enter into summer and students are no longer part of an organized PE program, it makes you wonder, well, what's next? So we're very fortunate in Auburn to have a community that embraces physical activity, from the interurban bike trail to the seemingly unlimited number of city parks, from city sports programs to wetland reclamation, nature paths. The city of Auburn recognizes the value of people remaining active and getting out of doors. While other cities and counties are closing parks, the city of Auburn has demonstrated a commitment to maintaining spaces for families to gather and be active together. Please welcome the woman behind that, Auburn graduate, Auburn Mayor Nancy Backus.
Thank you. Thank you, Tim. It's wonderful to see all of you here, and as Tim said, the City of Auburn is very, very supportive of activity, PE every day, and our parks are open. We want to make sure that there are great experiences for the people that live here, for our kids, for our adults, for everyone to be able to enjoy all of the parks. A few years ago, the City of Auburn in King County had one of the highest rates of obesity in children. Think about that. 39 cities in King County, and we had the highest obesity rate. But it's because of programs like this that we are no longer considered number one on that list. Now, there are a lot of lists we want to be number one on. This is not one of them. We want to make sure that our kids are healthy, because healthy activity leads to healthy learning. And when they are healthy and they're able to learn in the classroom, there is not a thing that our kids can't accomplish. They are awesome kids. They are our future. Kids, how many of you enjoy PE every day? That's it. And parents, how many of you are proud that your kids enjoy PE every day? Yeah. I am proud to be part of a city that acknowledges the importance of activity. I am proud to be the mayor of a city that bands together to make sure that the needs of all of us are met. And you know what, kids? You know what I'm going to ask you to give me? 5 seconds of side planks!
Now, when we look at effectiveness of pilot programs and awareness programs, we need to have someone who is willing and, quite frankly, a lot smarter than I am, to figure out what the data is actually telling us. And we're fortunate in the Auburn School District to have as our Executive Director of High School Student Learning, Julie DeVault.
Thank you. At the beginning of the school year, Dee Dee came to my office and asked me to help her collect some data on a PE Everyday program. And I had a couple of questions about what it was she was looking for. She told me that she wanted students to be active and engaged in the classroom, and so we decided to pull some data. So at the beginning of the school year, I pulled baseline data collected, including the demographic information. A perceptual survey was created on activity and self-image, body mass index, and academic reading success as measured through the dynamic indicators of basic early literacy skills. We call that DIBELS. At the end of the midterm, in the middle of the year, academic progress was measured again through DIBELS, and perceptual progress was measured through a survey. For the mid-year report, academic progress was compared between the two groups. Certainly in education, there are many compounding variables that contribute to academic success, including all the fantastic instruction that students get throughout the entire school day, including their music programs, art, the library, and certainly in their classroom environment throughout the entire day. All of the grade 3 teachers here at Illalko Elementary should be really commended for their hard work and effort that they put into teaching our students. Another contributing factor for student achievement is certainly the parent engagement. Without the parent support, and parents, I see you in the back of the room here today, it really matters what you do at home with students. And your support being here this afternoon shows that you care about what your students are doing in the classroom. Another contributing factor that we noted was motivation to succeed. What students thought about school changed over the course of this year. What they thought about how themselves acted as both learners as well as physical activity and a PE student changed dramatically. So in consideration that there are many factors that contribute to academic success, we did look at mid-year results, and they looked very promising for the PE Everyday student groups. Students enrolled in PE Everyday had a greater than expected growth from the beginning of the year to the middle of the year. There was a difference between the two groups, indicating that PE Everyday had a potentially positive impact, certainly on student perception towards health and fitness, as well as a potentially positive contribution to the outcomes of student achievement. Once the school year closes, the Department of Student Learning will evaluate the end-of-year results for a final analysis. It's really been a pleasure to be a part of this pilot, and it is for sure that Dee Dee Goodspeed's enthusiasm for health and fitness is contagious. Great work, Illalko. Now give me 5 sit-ups.
Now, Dee Dee Goodspeed has served as a PE specialist at Illalko since it opened its doors in 1992. She's weathered many changes in society and education during her tenure. When she saw such drastic changes in the activity level of students from when she started to now, she got the idea of PE Everyday. She has worked throughout the year with a team gathering data, providing instruction, and mobilizing forces in the crusade for healthy students. Please give a warm round of applause to Miss Dee Dee Goodspeed.
First of all, this is absolutely amazing. I just can't believe all the support for this. I'm just so happy and thrilled that we have all these vendors in here and all these health and fitness specialists that are helping us out here. The kids need the support. I've seen some amazing changes fitness-wise. I've been here for 24 years, and if you guys know, I have former students that are here. The Egans are back there, their whole family. I taught all of their kids. Kevin Egan, sponsor for Hop Jacks, and Trudy Vinson, she also sponsors. Also, we've got a check from Hop Jacks that we're going to deliver right now, and we're going to do that.
Now, I want you to know that we took a before picture and we had to use a much wider angle lens. So PE Everyday is really paying off.
So our next speaker is someone who has long campaigned for not only education, but also health and fitness in the state of Washington. He's taking time from his extremely busy schedule. That's a testament to his commitment to education and to the health of all students in Washington state. Please give a warm welcome to Governor Jay Inslee.
Good afternoon. How's everybody doing today? Good day? I think it's always a good day when you're in a gym. That's how I look at it. And I'm excited about this because kids who think exercise is fun are more likely to keep exercising the muscle between their ears as well as their biceps. And that is really important. And I'll tell you why. We know if you exercise regularly, you're more likely to maintain a healthy weight. Being active and eating healthy foods and maintaining a healthy weight are ways to avoid obesity. There are a lot of health problems associated with that. We know that, right? And unfortunately, we are seeing more and more of these problems in our kids today. Kids are spending more of their time in front of screens and less time exercising and playing outside. But right here, the Huskies are doing something about it, aren't they? Kids are, in fact, having a PE every day. which is helping to teach important healthy habits that are going to last as long as they live. But we know the most important thing about exercise, it's fun. And I'm in favor of fun. Raise your hand if you're in favor of fun too. All right, those are some smart Huskies here today at this school. So someday when you're adults, I know you're going to remember the fun you had in Ms. Goodspeed's class. I know this is a fact because my dad, besides being an excellent biology teacher, was an excellent PE teacher at South and Garfield High School. And I get to see his students who are healthy at the age 70 because of what they learned in high school. Now I want to mention another reason why PE Everyday program is so terrific and why every kid ought to be involved in this. When you exercise, you're doing something for your mind. We're discovering that when kids have PE class every day, they tend to do better in school, academically. So shouldn't we all have exercise for our bodies and our minds? And that is happening right here in this school. Now down in Olympia, we're updating the state PE standards right now. This is an important step to making sure that every student has the opportunities they have right here as Huskies across the state of Washington. We're working on an effort called the Healthiest Next Generation Initiative, also known as Leave No Child on Their Behinds Act. So we want this generation of kids to be the healthiest generation of Washingtonians because we know our future depends on it. But let me tell you who the real champions are of this effort. It's not politicians, it's teachers. It's the folks like Mrs. Goodspeed and principals like Mr. Carstens who are leading this effort right here in this school. And it's everybody in this classroom. Everybody here in this gym is a champ. Your participation makes programs like PE Everyday successful in getting other kids involved in it. So here's what I hope. I hope that when you're not in Mrs. Goodspeed's class, when you go to middle school and high school and eventually graduate, I hope you're still going to be exercising and that you make it part of your life every single day. It's part of my life. In fact, last weekend I was in a 100-mile bike race over in Wenatchee, and I enjoyed it. It was great. I got to make friends, and I got a little oxygen in my mind to help legislators understand we need a budget that supports schools in the state of Washington. So I want to thank everybody, teachers, parents, kids, counselors, janitors, classified staff, for all you're doing. And I want to say two more things. First is go Huskies. Second, I would like us to show our appreciation for Ms. Goodspeed. Could all the students get up, stand up, all the students stand up. I want you to get ready, spread out just a little bit, spread out a little bit. I want everybody to do 5 jumping jacks to show our appreciation for Ms. Goodspeed. Are you all ready? And I'll count them out. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are champion Huskies. Round of applause for everybody.
So let's give another big round of applause to all of our guests, sponsors, and participants.